A cold blue wash sweeps across the asphalt as overhead lamps blink, hum, and cast long shadows over the barracks. A wind moves through the chain-link fences like a whispered warning. Most of the base is asleep, except for the distant rumbling of a C-17 shutting down on the runway and a group of night shift instructors quietly smoking behind the gym. The camera pans slowly toward the lone figure walking across the darkened lot. Lieutenant Commander Hale, age 34, Navy SEAL, recently assigned as a behavioral readiness instructor for incoming candidates. She moves with quiet purpose, shoulders relaxed, walk steady, her presence unspoken but unmistakable. She isn't in uniform, just black joggers, a faded naval special warfare hoodie, and running shoes. She looks like any off-duty officer heading toward the gym for a late workout. But she is not any officer. And tonight, 3 ambitious recruits, tired, frustrated, and carrying the wrong kind of ego, are about to learn exactly why. The day had been long, filled with personnel evaluations, psychological screenings, and a dozen handwritten reports. Kara kept to herself as usual. She didn't brag, didn't explain much, didn't wear the telltale trident unless required on uniform. Most of the base didn't know who she really was, but the instructors knew, the Command Master Chief knew, the base CO definitely knew, and rumors had begun slipping into the barracks through whispered stories. There's a woman SEAL here. No, that's just a rumor. Heard she ran Task Force Orion for 2 deployments. Yeah? Then why is she here teaching HR stuff? Sounds fake. Recruits love to talk, especially when they don't understand what quiet strength looks like, especially when ego outweighs wisdom. Among the loudest skeptics were 3 second-phase candidates. Bradson, tall, restless, always irritated. Krieger, strong, competitive, and dangerously insecure. Morales, the follower, not cruel, but easily influenced. The trio had failed a key evaluation earlier that day: conflict ethics and de-escalation. Kara was their evaluator, and they did not take kindly to failing, especially not under a woman they assumed wasn't really special ops. They thought she was soft. They thought she was simply academic. They thought she didn't understand combat the way they did. They were wrong. They just didn't know it yet. It's 0:43 hours. Kara steps inside the dim, mostly empty gym. Only the glow of emergency lights paints the room in low red. The treadmills hum quietly. The rubber flooring still smells like detergent. She stretches in silence, inserting earbuds but not playing music yet. Footsteps, whispering, a shift in the air. Behind her, the glass doors hiss open and close. Bradson, Krieger, Morales. 3 silhouettes walk in, pretending to be casual but moving with a certain edge, the kind that seeks validation more than confrontation. Kara doesn't turn. She notices everything through reflection on the window. She keeps stretching. They approach. Bradson, evening, ma'am. Couldn't sleep either? Kara removes an earbud and offers a polite, neutral smile. Kara, evening. Just getting a quick run in. You boys should be sleeping. Ruck march in 4 hours. Krieger scoffs. Krieger will survive. We're built for this. You actually SEAL qualified? There's talk, but nobody's seen you in action. Morales shifts uncomfortably. He knows where this is heading, but stays silent. Kara doesn't respond immediately. She simply looks at them, calm and collected. Kara, get some rest. You'll need clarity tomorrow. They don't take the hint. Bradson, ma'am, we worked our asses off today. We don't think we deserved that fail. Kara, then train harder. Her tone is not dismissive, just factual, measured, controlled. But ego has its own hearing disorder. It only listens for validation. And tonight, their egos are starving. The trio spreads slightly, almost instinctively forming a semicircle. The gym feels smaller. The red lighting grows sharper. Kara takes a slow breath, analyzing angles, distances, potential exits. Not fearful, simply aware. Krieger, you know, passing or failing us, that has consequences. We make or break here. Our futures depend on this. Kara, I'm aware. And that's why I'm strict. Anything else? Bradson cracks his knuckles. Bradson. Yeah. One question. If the rumors are true, and you're a SEAL, prove it. Kara's eyes shift, not in fear, but in disappointment. This again. Kara. You want proof? Show me your discipline. Go to bed. They step closer. Morales hesitates. Bradson doesn't. Bradson. Come on, ma'am. We just want to understand what makes you qualified to judge us. You evaluate warriors, but we've never seen you fight. Kara sets both earbuds down and slowly stands. She's not angry, not intimidated, just tired of the cycle. Young men thinking strength comes from confrontation instead of restraint. Kara walk away, but Bradson lowers his stance. Krieger shifts weight to his back foot. Morales swallows hard. 3 recruits, all physically capable, all misjudging what stands before them. Kara finally exhales, her voice dropping lower. Kara. Boys, remember who I am. They don't, but they will. What happens next is not a brawl, not a show, not a dramatic slow-motion fight scene. It's survival instinct refined through 14 years of SEAL discipline delivered with surgical precision. What happens next is 45 seconds of controlled, non-lethal dominance. Second 1 to 4. Bradson lunges first. Predictable, wide stance, fists up like a bar fighter. Kara steps left, pivots, and uses his own momentum to sweep his leg. He hits the mat hard, breath blasting out of him. Second 5 to 12, Krieger charges with brute force. Kara ducks, turns, hooks his arm, and redirect hurls him into the row of weight benches. He sprawls, stunned, confused. Morales freezes, hands half raised. Kara don't, but adrenaline wins. Second 13 to 25. Morales throws a hesitant punch. Kara traps his wrist, rotates, and pins him face down with just 2 fingers pressed along his radial nerve. He gasps in pain. She whispers, Kara, I told you to walk away. Second 26 to 45, Bradson staggers up, enraged. He swings again, sloppy, furious. Kara doesn't counterattack. She simply steps aside, guiding his momentum, so he crashes into a loaded squat rack and drops to his knees. Krieger tries to rise. Kara plants one foot, leans slightly forward, and her voice cuts the silence. Kara, stay down. He listens. The gym falls still. All 3 stare up at her, breathless, confused, humbled. No bruises given, no bones broken, no rage in her movements, just control, precision, a lesson. The red emergency light glows over her like a warning beacon. The recruits kneel or slump, catching their breath. Morales massages his wrist, ashamed. Bradson speaks first, his voice trembling not from fear, but realization. Bradson, ma'am. Who are you? Kara wipes sweat from her brow, calm again. She walks to the corner, grabs her ID badge off her gym bag, and tosses it lightly to them. They look, and the color drains from their faces. Naval Special Warfare Command, SEAL Team 7, former Task Force Orion leader, Lieutenant Commander Kara Hale. Krieger's lips part. Krieger. Ma'am, you're... Kara. Yes. Bradson bites his tongue. His earlier arrogance dissolves instantly. Morales slowly lifts his head. Morales. We didn't know. Kara kneels to their level. Not boastful, not triumphant. Human. Kara, I know you didn't. And that's the problem. They look up, confused. Her tone softens. Kara's strength isn't shown by who you can corner, or who you can intimidate, or who you think you're stronger than. She looks at each of them, eyes steady. Kara's strength is discipline. Strength is restraint. Strength is knowing when not to fight. Bradson lowers his gaze, the weight of her words sinking deep. Kara, you think SEALs solve everything with fists? Boys. If I raised my hands every time someone doubted me, I'd have no energy left for real battles. Krieger rubs the back of his head. Krieger. We messed up, ma'am. Kara. Yes, but your careers aren't over. Then her expression shifts, colder, sharper. Kara. But you come at me like that again? You corner anyone like that again? You're done, understand? All 3 nod fast. Kara, good. Now get up. Word spreads quietly. Not about the fight. She doesn't report them. Not because she's protecting them, but because she wants them to learn something without public humiliation. But the recruits tell the truth themselves. Not as gossip, as respect. Soon, every candidate knows Lieutenant Commander Hale is the real deal. She doesn't flaunt it. She doesn't talk big. But she's the toughest on base, mentally, physically, morally. And most importantly, mess with her? You'll regret it. But learn from her? You'll grow. Instructors nod her way a little more respectfully. Recruits straighten when she enters the room. She gained authority without asking for it. She earned respect without demanding it. 2 days later, Kara sits in her small office, burning the midnight oil again. The desk lamp glows softly against the folder stacks. The air smells like fresh paper and tired coffee. A knock. She looks up. Bradson, Krieger, Morales. They stand at attention, Kara at ease. What is it? Bradson steps forward, eyes steady. Bradson, ma'am, we wanted to apologize. Properly. Not because we're scared, because we were wrong. Morales nods. Morales. You taught us more in 45 seconds than we learned all cycle. Krieger adds quietly. Krieger. We want to be better, if you'll still train us. Kara closes the folder, leans back and studies their faces. They are different. Humbled, awake, ready to listen. She gestures to the chairs. Kara sit. They do. Kara folds her hands, tone steady. Kara, I didn't join the Navy to prove myself to anyone. I didn't become a SEAL to show off. I did it because there were people out there who needed protecting. People who didn't have the strength you three have. She points subtly at their hearts. Kara. And they needed someone with this. Because muscle fades, speed fades, ego fades. But this, taps her chest, stays. The room is silent. She continues. Kara. You want to be operators? Start with humility. You want to lead men? Learn to control yourself. You want my respect? Earn it, not by fighting me, but by fighting your own weaknesses. They absorb every word. Kara. If you want, I'll train you personally on de-escalation, ethics, and combat restraint. SEALs aren't weapons. We're scalpels. We cut only what needs cutting. Morales smiles faintly. Morales. We'd be honored, ma'am. Kara nods once. Crisp. Kara. Then training starts tomorrow. 0500. Don't be late. They stand to leave. But Bradson turns back at the door. Bradson, ma'am? That night, when we cornered you, you told us to remember who I am. Why that phrase? Kara doesn't hesitate. Kara. Because, Bradson, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to me. They all pause. Kara continues, voice softer now, almost vulnerable. Kara. When people doubt you long enough, tear you down long enough, you start to lose sight of yourself. Even SEALs aren't immune. A deep breath. Kara. So I remind myself not to prove anything to others, but to never forget my own worth. Bradson nods slowly, understanding more than he expected. Bradson. Thank you, ma'am. They exit. Kara leans back in her chair, closes her eyes for a brief moment, and exhales. She is calm again, centered again, remembering exactly who she is. A leader, a warrior, a protector, a woman forged not by others' expectations, but by her own unwavering discipline. 3 weeks later, on a fog-heavy morning during a high-stress navigation course, the trio faces a situation that could have derailed their progress. 2 recruits get into a heated argument near the cliffs. Voices rise. Bradson steps forward, not to fight, but to calm Bradson. Hey, stop. Remember discipline. Remember control. Krieger helps de-escalate. Morales pulls the second recruit back. No punches, no ego, no proving, just leadership, just growth. Kara watches from a distance, unseen but deeply proud. Bradson glances her way, noticing her silhouette. She offers a small nod. He straightens with quiet pride. They finally understand the lesson she'd been teaching from the beginning. Strength without discipline is just violence. But discipline without ego? That's power. That night, the base is quiet again, humming beneath the stars. Kara walks out toward the ocean-facing cliffs behind the barracks. The cold air whips her hair. The waves crash hard, white foam glowing under moonlight. She stands alone, hands in pockets, listening to the sea. She whispers to herself, remember who you are. Not as a warrior, not as a SEAL, not as an instructor, but as someone who lifted others, guided others, gave strength without taking dignity. Then, footsteps approach from behind. She knows them instantly. Bradson, Krieger, Morales. No tension now. No ego. Just respect. Bradson. Ma'am, we graduated the ethics course today. Wouldn't have made it without you. Kara smiles faintly. Kara. You did the work. I just nudged the compass. Krieger looks out at the sea. Krieger. We wanted to thank you properly. Morales finishes the sentence. Morales, for seeing who we could be, not who we were that night. Kara nods. Kara good. Now remember that. Remember discipline. Remember restraint. A long pause. Then, Kara, and remember who you are becoming. They stand together for a moment. Teacher and students, no ranks, no barriers, just shared growth. Then they salute her. A crisp, unified salute. She returns it. The scene fades out to the sound of the sea. Strength is not the ability to overpower others. It is the discipline to control yourself. True warriors do not prove their worth through violence, but through character, restraint, and courage. Remember who you are, especially when others forget.